Good morning from Germany, NBA fans. This is MaxiRyu, and today I want to talk about the Chicago Bulls and their current and future possible free agency trade scenarios, as well as going briefly deeper into the real needs of this team. So let's start off with some of the news that I heard about from yesterday afternoon on, in German time, of course. We would have someone returning who was once one of us, but unfortunately, it is not Tyson Chandler, who I'd personally preferred. But guess who? It is Jamal Crawford. Oh yiddy, oh yiddy, oh yeti yeti. I don't know, man. I don't know anything else, what else to say except, you gotta be kidding me. How can someone who has almost lost his primes and dimes and athleticism already be of any help for the dynamic Derrick Rose? Mr. John Paxson, if you want to do Bruce Blitzen me a favor, I wouldn't consider hiring him, because that would be the last thing on earth that I would waste my money for if I were the manager of the Chicago Bulls. Yes, it's true, we need a shooting guard. But is Jamal Crawford really the solution? We should try for someone more in style. Technically, we were okay in last year's playoffs, considering the fact that the role of a legitimate title contender for the first time in years has kind of gotten into our heads. Very much at times, but in my opinion, we can only get better. Derrick Rose is gonna get better. Also, with the help of Coach Tom Thibodeau, he should have a mentor who can show him the way. So the Bulls management should make their choices wisely and not end up making similar mistakes like the Cavaliers a few years ago, until one of the fateful days that kid from Akron took his talents to the South Beach to join the Miami Heat. Well, let's talk about the candidates that would benefit daBulls more. Just now, I read on ESPN insider sources that are talking about whether Brandon Roy is a fit for the Bulls. Well, personally, I think it would be a good fit, but I think he's grown a little bit too injury prone over the years. Alternatively, if we have the trade assets and if he's healthy, why not? He'd be a shooting guard who can create shots on his own. That would be perfect. I'd love to have Tyson Chandler back on the Bulls, but recently I read rumors that he might consider signing with the Golden State Warriors. But when I got up just now, this morning, I read that he might join the New York Knicks. Like I said before, I wouldn't mind parting with Joakim Noah if we can get a mature Tyson Chandler back to the Bulls in a sign and trade. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. Caron Butler was one of our targets, but I'm glad to read that he's about to join the Clippers instead. Ah, yes, and actually, while browsing through the insider sources of ESPN just now, I discovered Shannon Brown. Maybe we should pick him up. Starter or not, this kid displays the athleticism and the ability to run the floor in the open court. That is also necessary to increase Derrick Rose's playing-making abilities. And he can shoot the three as well if given the chance. In my opinion, it would be a wise choice to consider him if he doesn't intend to sign with the Lakers again this year. Lastly, let's talk about Nick Young a little bit, one of Bruce Blitz's favorite candidates on the market. I like the idea, of course. He's also dynamic. He's also a dynamic talent who can run the floor, and he has some nice moves. In worst case scenarios, if nothing valuable is gonna benefit us in the highly competitive free agency and trade market, careful planning and persistent maintaining of the core team spirit character should alternatively be the main focus for a long-term success for daBulls. And when some of the players of the current roster can rise up our ranks, the better it is for the team, and in addition to that, it'll save a lot of money and add more value for future chances in the free agency and trade market. So let's rephrase it again very concisely. We need a long-term team spirit that utilizes the talents of everyone and plug it all together for a long-term goal and create real value. One player they should, in my opinion, keep Taj Gibson, who has shown flashes of persistent tenacity and who would have enough capability to be a starter in the future if Carlos Boozer doesn't bring it and we can't get rid of him. But at least I don't see chances to get rid of Boozer yet. Lastly, Keith Bogans we should keep because he's our secret weapon and we haven't used him enough, which is why we lost against the Heat. I'm out. Peace.